Up only.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Up only.
Hello and welcome to Up Only TV. We've got Keyboard Monkey on the line today. We'll get to him in just a second. First, let me tell you about our partners at Blockfolio. You know who they are. Freaking A. How do I do this still? It's habit. FTX. We're sponsored by FTX. They are our partners at FTX. Go to uponly.tv/FTX. Thanks to FTX for being our partners. uponly.tv/FTX. It's the same app you've known and loved for a long time. Track your portfolio, swap back and forth from one asset to the other, just like you've always known and loved. Thank you to them for being our partners. Let's get to the show. Woo! Kobe.
That was professional, mate. You did a great job. I think you completely killed that. Like, I think there's people watching who are now going, I wonder if he does TV work.
I think they're thinking to themselves, like, does this guy actually know who his sponsor is? And the answer is yes. They're the ones that changed their name, and it's a great name.
Not wrong.
But now they must just be more curious, so that they're going to go to uponly.tv/FTX and, check it out for real.
Have you got a haircut, Ledger?
I did get a haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking very sharp, mate. Looking hot.
Very nice.
Thank you. Still wearing glasses. I got to be in glasses for another week or so, but yeah.
Are you getting your eye tattoo?
Yeah, I'm getting an eye tattoo.
Dude.
Also very handsome on the line. We've got Keyboard Monkey today.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm happy to be here, man. It's been, I feel like a long time coming. I've been watching the show for a while now, ever since you launched it. So it's nice to finally make it on.
I feel like
Yeah, thanks for coming on. What I like normally when we invite a guest on, do you want to do it? Yeah, cool. Let's do it. How are the dates? Yeah, cool. What kind of things are we going to chat about? Is what they ask next. And you just went, yeah, I'll do it. And then you turned up, and it's like there's no pre-prep, no what will we talk about? It's just like, yeah, I'll come. Fuck it.
Zero prep. Yeah, no, I think I said fuck it, we'll do it live in a tweet a minute ago. So yeah, it's gonna be live for real this time.
I like that. Thank you for coming on.
if we prepared for our shows for more than like 5 minutes, we might have gotten your King Penguin here actually with his little mouth moving. That would have been cool. But
Yeah, no, that would have been tight. Instead, it took 15 minutes to set it up. So maybe next time.
yeah,
I like the penguin, but I feel like he's staring at my
yes.
chest.
He likes Kobe. He likes the Kobe.
Look, he likes the hoodie. It's a pretty cool hoodie. So I get it. So we got that. I think we need to go to the very beginning, Keyboard Monkey, because as much as you love the Penguins, you're not just a penguin flipper. You're not just an NFT maniac. You did like a hero run trading non-NFTs in 2020, right? Like you did the winning streak, the one that everyone wants to go on.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been trading stocks straight out of college, so 13 or 14 years now, and then I had a lot of success, a lot of ups and downs. Almost degenerated away all my money pre-2020, just taking too big a size, getting cut off by risk managers because I worked at a firm. Too much high stakes gambling. It was purely just not great behavior. But then 2020 hit with the COVID volatility, and I was down in my last 250K, and then spun it up to where we are now in this amount of time. So been pretty crazy. It was partly stocks, a lot of crypto trading, and now all of a sudden I'm just doing the same thing in NFTs. So it's been a god tier run of epic proportions, I feel like.
I don't want to ask the question, but you said to where we are now, and so I've got to kind of ask it. Can you give us a ballpark figure? So you were 250K a year and a bit ago, I guess, around the COVID dump. So it was 14 months ago. Can you give us a ballpark figure?
Kobe just refused to answer this question.
I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure this just happened with OBJ, and he gave him $1,000 like a queen salary or something. I don't know what it was. But more than the queen salary, obviously. I'm definitely way past where I ever thought I could be. I don't know. It's it's into the eights, pretty deep. So yeah.
All right, so you went from 250K to the deep into the 8 figures. So it means you probably have like portfolio swings of multiple millions a day. How have you managed to sort of reconcile that feeling where like some days you lose more than you had previous, like in total 2 months ago or something?
Yeah, of course. So I think a lot of it has to do with like just being trading for so long. I kind of like lost the emotional aspect of it. Like I just, at some point, I don't know, I just transcended to where I just like don't care about the swings anymore. But it definitely like even like today with the down move we had in crypto, I was getting I'm getting a little nervous. I think I made a post like maybe it's all over and we're gonna like, Fed taper and just be all fucked. But it definitely was nerve wracking, especially because I have more like ETH and crypto than I've had like ever with these past couple of NFT trades. Usually, because I'm pretty well diversified, because having almost lost it all before, I'm not trying to risk it all in just one space and lose it all again. So
when you say
that helps me sleep at night,
when you say diversified, you still mean like between legacy assets?
He means ETH and NFTs. That's
yeah,
he means he's not all in on Art Blocks Curated. He's gone a bit Art Blocks Factory too.
yeah. No, man. I mean, like I went. I mean, it's stocks, real estate, private equity. Apparently, when you make a lot of money, it opens a lot of doors and pretty cool investments. So a lot of cool things.
Nice
diversification,
Yeah, so proper diversification.
Yeah. I don't want to go to zero again.
So going back to like the last 250K COVID run, you said it was a mix of everything, like stocks, crypto, and stuff. Was it your first sort of foray into crypto? Have you been in crypto before?
No, yeah. So I mean, it was mostly stocks in 2020. Crypto, I've been involved in since like 2018. But in March of 2020, my whole portfolio got liquidated on that BitMEX move. So it's like the only advantage I had from being involved for that long is like knowing the ecosystem well. Yeah. So I was able to buy back in with some of the money I made from the stock market volatility. But so the crypto run didn't happen no more like late 2020, early 2021. Mostly stocks.
Got it. That makes sense. And then, sorry to ask this question, not to doubt you or anything, but during the 2020 year, and you had this miracle run that's like kind of sustained for a year and a half now, or a year and a bit. Did you know what you were doing?
Yeah. No, of course. No, like I said, I've been trading for 13 years. I had, I was in the 7 figures net worth, and then dropped out of it like by being an asshole, which is definitely possible. When volatility dries up, I mean, you know how punishing it is. Like you can overtrade so easily. I mean, there was literally like no volatility in the stock market for 2 years. So it's just, you try to do something punished. So it was kind of like even crypto for a while there was the same way. So
yeah, why don't we talk about like where you feel comfortable trading? Because I've gotten to know that about you some from our chats. But like, if something's just like kind of slow and steady, you don't like it. You like
I need fast volatility, because I was like a scalping day trader is how I learned how to trade, which I carried over into NFTs even too. But there needs to be volatility. I mean, like that's why the NFT market's so crazy right now. How it feels like you're in the 80s trading stocks with eighths and fractions, because that's literally what they were doing. And they said it was like free money, like all the people used to trade back then. Maybe the Zoomers don't know, but stocks didn't always used to be decimals. They were like 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So that's NFTs right now. You can look at it like liquidity order book and just, capture ridiculous percentages. That's kind of like how I'm looking at it, at least. But yeah, there needs to be volatility, man, or else I'm kind of dusted. So that's why I mean, like when that dries up, I need to take a break.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when did you actually shift to, out of like, I know you're still trading crypto, but like when did you go deep on the NFT landscape?
Yeah, it was in February, actually. I mean, I had no plans to. I didn't even know what NFTs were. I was chilling in Florida, and my buddy Colonel Trader messaged me. He's like, because we like talk trading all the time. He's like, look at this thing called hash masks. He's like, it has like a bonding curve. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I paid up like 0.3, 0.6. I was buying like other people's bags on the like reveal. And then it gets to the thing, and I was like, wow, this kind of like nostalgic, like a trading card pack feel. I want to rip it open and see what happens when you get the final bit. Well, it turns out the final one was 100 ETH. And I was like, you know what, fucking send it. I want to see my shit tonight. So I bought the last one for 100 ETH. And yeah, that was my first foray to NFTs. I mean, I'm still bag holding those. I mean, I think they're coming back though. They've got some new shit coming up, but they've been a little disrespecting this run. But that was the first bit of NFTs. And then it sort of you know, it went downhill because liquidity did dry up after that. I mean, it was like volatility like now, but with like a tenth of the liquidity. So when it dried up, it was, you know, dusty as shit.
Hashmasks had like what 2 days before it topped, and then
Well, I was going hard too, man. I had like a guy write me an algorithm to like find rarities, and I was staying up all night. I didn't leave my like condo in Florida that I was renting for like 2 or 3 weeks. And my wife was like, you're not gonna fucking come outside. I was like, no, I'm trading these mask cards. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what's wrong with you? Didn't even see the
believe you would
sun.
tell
Like, yeah, just glued to a laptop. I mean, it was bad, and I was just paying up because I had no idea like how the mechanics worked at all. I was just learning like trial by fire, you know, like baptism by fire. But
that's amazing.
yeah, I paid a lot of tops. I think I was paying like 20, 30 ETH for like masks, and then I kind of like realized that, you know, not everyone has like 30, 60, 70K to spend on like a mask at the time. Like, it wasn't like now where everyone just throws it around like crazy. And then I panicked and lost a fuckload, but the addiction stuck with me. And then I just kept going for some reason. And until like recently, now it's obviously paid off really big, but it was scary for a bit.
I remember back in those days because like Hashmask was super fun, and there was like a little period similar to what's happening now with NFTs where everything was getting pretty frothy. But a lot of the stuff then was based on Nifty Gateway. Nifty Gateway was blowing up before OpenSea, and now Nifty Gateway's volume is like super, super low. So if you bought NFTs on Nifty Gateway back in like January or whatever, you kind of got scammed because
Did we top Nifty Gateway?
Yeah, we topped everything, dude.
There's another interesting thing here I want to touch on when you're done, but
yeah.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say Nifty Gateway, like that top, I feel like occurred from oversupply from them doing like open editions and shit. And obviously it was more supply than Artblocks, but Artblocks does send out a lot of shit. So I mean, like, there's a lot of drops. It's a lot higher quality, I guess, and it's not open edition. But at some point, does supply demand dry up? I mean, it's something to think about that I think about often.
Keyword Monkey, I hate to say this. I just want to give you a warning that like your net worth might be peaking right this moment.
No, yeah, well, dude, I mean, have you seen how much shit I've been dumping? I mean, like, I've been selling a lot. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of stuff still. I have a lot of like big bags, and I believe in shit. But
I mean, we have an
like
incredible track record.
Yeah. Shit, as toppers.
Yeah, if you come on here, it's the top. Like we topped Solana, we topped Nifty Gateway, we topped Light.
We topped Light crypto.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is actually kind of remarkable that there was a moment in time people were buying open editions. What the fuck was that about?
Yeah, like, what?
There was like $10,000 or like 1,000 or whatever of a copy of an NFT, and people were buying them, and then it would just go straight to zero.
Yeah, it was bizarre. Well, it's kind of like what we're seeing now, where like you said, I think one of you guys touched on it, where people just buy into a tweet or something and then they sell it for a loss instantly. It's like the same fucking behavior. I don't know what these guys are thinking, but maybe have a little more of a plan, I would assume.
Yeah, but I do remember back in those days, like after Nifty Gateway died down and after Hashmasks, you would like make a big win, you'd make a big sale, and you'd be like, that's it for me, I'm out, I can't do it, I'm not doing it. And then like 2 days later, you'd bought a bunch of shit, and then 3 days later, you were like, why the fuck have I done this? I'm a liquid, I've lost it all again.
I think I think I'm still doing that to this day. I think I did that today, where I piled in like 1,000 ETH directly after that Def Beef sale, and I was like panicking. I piled in 800 ETH off the zombie sale. I piled in the next day. So I'm at the panic stage again, where I'm just dumping bags like a jetliner trying to dump fuel. But it's like cyclical, but it seems to be working. But like one of these times I do want to just stop, you know, and stop like stressing out about it.
You're like a junkie, maybe, pretty much.
Maybe, yeah, I guess so. I mean, like, luckily it's working out. I mean, like, everyone who would tell me to stop is now getting involved. So I feel like I need to dump my bags on all my friends that are getting involved and, you know, move on to the next thing. I don't know what the next thing's going to be. We got to find something else.
I love the honesty. It's just you come on a show with thousands of people and you say, I got to dump on my friends.
Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. Ice bags, you know, don't worry about it. Rookie.
Need them to come defend themselves.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So like when you go through that like psychological loop of being like, holy shit, this is all going to zero, I need to get out, and then 2 days later being like, fuck, I'm gonna miss out, I need to buy something now. What is the latter part of it that I'm gonna miss out? Is it always like this is going up in the next week, or are you making like longer term bets on these things?
I mean, like I try to like rotate out cost basis to make it a little longer term on some of the pieces, but like I think a lot of it's been catalyzed by like major players buying in. Like I keep panicking, and then somebody will just buy a Fidenza for 1,000 ETH, or like 3AC will join, or somebody will fire another couple mil. Now today we have like some Saudi Arabian fund buying our blocks. Like Like, when the fuck does it end? Like,
Dude, when the
every day there's
when the
another.
Saudis come in, it's getting
Yeah.
dangerous.
There's just another rich person who just fires tons of money into like super illiquid supplies, and everyone else is firing at the same time, like copy trading and piling their bags. So it's just a weird cycle, and I mean, like it's definitely not sustainable. So I'm a little nervous at all times, but I don't know how it's possibly.
So you
it's
still
going.
have 763 items in the Keyboard Monkey account.
That doesn't count the hidden 250 like, you know,
Things you
weird
don't-
shit I have, the dark areas of the
Yeah, the stuff
OpenSea
Gainsey,
profile.
the stuff Gainsey told you to buy.
Yeah, no, I never buy anything Gainsey bought.
So like, I mean, and
No,
you
I mean,
typically like you don't buy stuff as low value as, you know, somebody like myself might buy. Like a lot of.
Well, I saw a fluff in there. I saw a fluff in there, Nate. Just
I
we
bought
just
a
went past
fluff
the
in
fluff.
there. I think I bought it at 80 if it's worth like 2. Thanks a lot, Ledger. I know you're like a fluff daddy.
Look,
I
you're
mean, I don't know if
the
that's
bottom
public,
on this
sorry.
fluff. You should be.
Yeah, I
holding
want
that.
out. Somebody might could buy that fluff. I'll take a 50% loss.
I might buy that fluff off of you.
Oh god.
No, yeah, no. I mean, I was buying. That's another thing. I was like minting items.
This
and
is
buying,
like Kobe goes to a party fluff. How can you not
True.
like that?
It's pretty.
Bro,
solid.
all of the fluffs look like sex offenders. Look at him. He's like, he's
definitely
fully done bad
Under
shit. Look at
18,
him.
Yeah, under 18.
Why is he dressed in a
amazing.
bunny suit? No, he's weird, man. He's weird.
Yeah, that's definitely weird. But no, I was minting stuff and I was buying low value stuff. It's just so fucking tedious. Like, I'm still listing things for like $150, like hundreds, like 50 things a day. Like at this level, I'm just like doing that on a hardware wallet, no less.
So
Like,
you-
it's just, I don't even know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. But like,
You have a Bulls on the Block on here, and the reason that one makes me laugh today is because, or it would really make me cry, but it's that
Oh, God.
Fidenza that just sold for like 1,000 ETH. The guy that sold it sold his Fidenza for half an ETH so that he could mint Bulls on the Block. So
did
it's
you
like,
see the story though? It was
it was somebody's dad.
somebody's dad, but he was a good sport about it. It sounded like he said it changed somebody else's life, you know, just not his. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah,
what can you do?
That's a good way to look at it.
it's a great,
Someone
it's a
else's
great
life.
way of coping.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Just a donation. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those instances. Like, it's crazy. The NFTs, like the ROIs you get in such a short period of time, it's like crazier than ICOs and like stuff like that. It feels like, at least, especially because you can have such a lower cost basis and really like make such a large amount of money if you have the right thing. It's really
I think that is quite a good reference because it is the thing that is most similar to an ICO. It is
Yeah.
An ICO was 100% of the supply sold in one moment. Often it was with some mythical tale about how they're going to build a flying car or whatever. Whereas this is just zero promises. Everyone buys at the same price. 100% of the supply is out. There's no like pre-sale. There's no VCs getting in on a cheaper round.
Yeah.
There's no, influencers getting free tokens in order to sell out the ICO or whatever. Maybe there is some of that again now, but and I think that's why they pump so hard, because
definitely.
when you have these weird new pre-sale markets where it comes out and there's like 1% of the circulating supply and everyone's locked up for 7 years and the float is so high so that the valuation's super overblown, no one really knows how to trade it because they don't want to like buy into the VC unlock that comes in 2 weeks and everyone's sitting like 10 million % up like Definity and it just gets obliterated or something. And it is much more similar to those early ICOs where everyone was at least on the same footing. I know that 99% of them turned out to be scams, but everyone was on the same cost basis. Everyone was in at the same price. The 100% of the supply was around. People that wanted to sell could get out quickly. And that rotation of ever increasing cost basis for holders allows things to pump. It really reminds me of the old MintPal pump days, but I think neither of you were about them.
No,
were you?
yeah, I was never there, but it is a beautiful thing.
I think in NFTs, like it's so quick for the floor to double because it could be like 5 or 10 sales of a collection, and like doubling in a token, it seems like there's always people that are willing to provide liquidity into that type of a move, whereas people are expecting oftentimes for these higher end collections that if they get in early, they can get 5 or 10x, and that's just really, really difficult to do
Yeah.
in altcoin.
And that's like one of the strategies I also take with like, especially with art blocks and stuff, is like looking at supply and then going through order book and looking at liquidity and seeing like how quickly, like if people pile it, things can change. And I think it's just like a really good spot for people who don't even have a lot of money to be in. It's like the Robinhood effect too, where like if it's actually going to be crazy, somebody with deep pockets is going to pay them 1,000 ETH for something they paid 0.5 for.
So
Crazy dynamic.
are there collections that you really like the art of, or are you approaching most of this like a trader would? Or are you trying to blend the two?
I think it's definitely a blend of the two. I mean, I think some of the art block stuff, I mean, Fidenzas is obviously a very pretty thing. I'm getting like the prints for the ones I own, hanging them in the house. But I don't know. It's definitely a blend. I do like one of one art, like my super rare account. I don't flip anything in that account. I buy things I like and like try to focus on holding those and treating it like actual art investing, where it's like, a longer term thing and it's not just going to flip overnight. It's way more liquid, but the returns will be there if you get the right ones too. And it's just buying things you like as well. I don't know, but it's definitely a blend.
Do you think that another reason that they pump so hard is because there's no chart? Because if you map some of this stuff on a chart, it'd just be a straight line upwards.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
No
too.
dips, like no retraces. It would just be like a straight line going up.
100%.
And if you saw an altcoin chart like that, even if you were bullish, you'd probably kind of sell it and go, right, this deserves a pullback. I'll sell. Yeah. Or someone else would start, like that one person who sells below market, just market dumps. Makes the chart look awful, and then a bunch of people frenzy and go, look, looks like this. My TA says this. Whereas when you look at NFTs, if you imagine a chart, because the chart is not there to scare you.
Yeah.
So if people don't sell, they just go, who knows what's even happening? Like you got to go to the activity tab, and then it just shows you like listings. Like who knows where people are selling?
I think you're right. And I was talking in a Discord with someone today, and I was like, Jesus Christ, if you could short NFTs, I'd be fucking blown out. Like it'd be over, because just thinking about the parabolicness and like the charts, like I would have literally be ended. It'd be over, because I would have shorted so long ago. But the fact, like you said, like, there's just no way to know, like the charts are just like, even you can't see that how parabolic it really is. It definitely is an interesting factor, the illiquidity, the just being blind to all that stuff. It's just a crazy ass market. Like what a time to be alive. Huh? Like what the fuck? In
order to try to understand what's going on and not, get past the like just frenzy of the, people's attractiveness to OpenSea and going crazy and aping into things. Mm-hmm. What about the quality of different collections? Like what makes them stand out? So Fidenzas have really stood out recently. You just bought one for 295 ETH,
Yeah.
So like let's take this as an example. Weiss spent like 600 ETH on one of these, and I thought for sure it was the top. I think he could probably get his money back easily today. So like what's making these stand out from one another from a collections perspective? What makes them special as an NFT? Most of these are generative, right?
Yeah, these are generative. So it's like, an autonomous system creates generative art through like unpredictable events through an algo. So they're all basically, for Fidenzas, you kind of can like look at them and there's no shitty Fidenza. So like everyone's happy with it. It's kind of like penguins too. There's no shitty penguin. So these are why those things pump. Again, I'm just saying that with a straight face. Come on. No, there aren't though.
Kobe's
but
just
I
mad
think it's
he
just
doesn't
like
have a penguin.
I think it's just because they really look
mate,
like
you're gonna
art.
look back on this episode and you're gonna in 2 years and you'll be like, oh my god, why the fuck did I have a penguin?
I don't have one penguin. I got a bunch of penguins.
I
now.
like the penguins, but I think it's also a narrative aspect too. Like once the narrative catches on, like people are saying like, Fidenzas are going to MoMA, blah blah blah, and then you have big players putting shitloads of money behind it and saying the same thing. So it's just a narrative spiral combined with the art's actually good, combined with generative is hot. So that's what makes Fidenza something I paid 295 ETH for yesterday. That I definitely have minor regrets. No, I don't. It's fine.
Yeah, we had Odell on Thursday, so that's less than a week ago, and I pulled up this same page and the floor was like 40 ETH.
Dude, yeah.
Today it's 164. So obviously people should maybe be a little careful about buying into that.
Yeah. So I bought like 10 of them at 20 ETH. Then I went to Vegas last week, was in like a black hole of, Vegas time warp. And I had a bunch of them listed, and like 8 of mine sold in like the 60s. So I didn't even participate in this up move for a lot of it, but it's so wild. Like I came back from Vegas after a week break, and floors had like quintupled. So things happen quick. But yeah, like if I were going to give somebody advice like Odell or somebody today, I don't know that I would say market buy here, but
I have to say,
Odell said,
go ahead.
Odell said it was worth like 10 mil or something.
Yeah, no, maybe.
Yeah,
well, that's the other thing. the people that I say this to who like have skin in the game just like me, but they're like, the hard ones to get aren't gonna get any easier to get. People aren't just gonna like shaky hand like a sick Fidenza at some 50% off price. It's just not gonna happen. So that's the other side of the coin, is that it's kind of a land grab, and if you want the good ones, you do have to pay up. But it's kind of hard to like try. Like I don't know how to walk that tightrope line yet, and that's why I kind of flip around so much, just because of my cycle of panic buy, because I can't.
Do you got yourself a dyno, mate?
I think the dyno story is really unfortunate.
For us.
One of my good friends told me to buy one a couple weeks ago, and that they looked pretty promising, and I actually paper handed it for 3 and took a half loss on it. Even though it has the perfect supply demand, like 100 supply and no liquidity type thing, to just do like a crazy meme pump, just like the Ether rocks.
Bob Lax DM'd me and he was like, buy a dyno, look at the holders, and the holders, it was just like 3 arrows, like VVD, Von Mies. I was like, wait, there's only like 100 of them, and he was like, yeah, dude. And I was like, all right, I'm getting a dyno then. That's all it takes. Sometimes you just need a DM and you go, yeah, fuck, exactly. I'll do that.
Literally, that's what happened to me with the 300 ETH Fidenzas last night. The Fidenza guy who brokers all the big deals DM me, was like, yo, this one's been listed for 8 days. It hasn't been moved by the guy. It's definitely should be repriced. And I was like, here's $1 million. Let's do it. So that's like the kind of shit that I do sometimes.
Like,
same to zombie.
I have to say, these like highest last sale Fidenzas really stand out. Like they're they're pretty awesome.
You're not going to get one for cheap either, so you have to pay up.
Yeah.
And did you say they're doing prints of them?
Yeah, so Tyler Hobbs does prints off his website. He does one print, one signed print. You can change the sizing of it, everything. You got to go to his website though and see if your Fidenza still has it. You can only claim one. It's like
I see.
Claim.
Got it. So I can like just go buy loads of Fidenzas, claim the physicals, and scam future buyers. Nice.
That's actually, I was trying to claim 8 of them, but they all sold when I was in Vegas. I mean, that wasn't my plan, but it extracts some more EV out of it, right? Have physicals.
I hate even pulling the dynos up because I'm just pumping freaking Kobe's bags.
Yeah, I don't know about these.
Like I was.
Look at them, they're so stupid. They're worse than the penguins.
50 ETH. What is that?
They're
Real
amazing.
dollars?
I don't even have one. I'm gonna pump.
Oh my god, they're worse than the penguins, aren't they?
Is that metaverse ready? It must be.
Yeah, you can run around the. Look,
you can ride that on like a fluff or a Meebit.
That is so shit.
I need a dyno.
Shit. What are we all doing?
Yeah, so exactly. When I see shit like this is when I have those down moments where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I need to like get some sleep and go outside. Like I'm on 2 hours of sleep right now. I'm like, what am I doing? Just sitting in my house.
Somebody in the chat says WTF is that, and the answer is $160,000 is what it is.
$160,000. That's about to be $300,000 when the next guy buys.
Look, I like the dyno, and apparently you get into a dyno DAO, but I don't know how to get in it, even though I've been like a dyno holder for 24 hours. There's a dyno DAO apparently, but I don't know how to get in it. Maybe they lied to me.
Discord.
Wait, mine's like one of the cheapest ones now. I need to move it up. Mine's a Triceratops, the black Triceratops there.
Kobe's gonna dox his OpenSea address further.
It's fine. It's the already doxed one.
That's pretty good.
Let's go look at your OpenSea address. Let's get Keyboard Monkey.
It's just loads.
Or Kobe.
It's just loads of shit that people send me. But I got a people pleaser. I got an original one people pleaser there.
She didn't even send me one of those. It was when she came on here, and I didn't get one. I got scammed.
Yeah, you got wrecked.
And then she got. Now she's huge.
But what I'm going to do with this OpenSea is I'm going to turn it into the trash. Like shame bucket. I'm gonna move out everything I like, and I'm gonna move this shit that Gainsey told me to buy
this is all Gainsey,
in there.
I was just gonna say,
all
Gainsey. Gainsey's thing. It doesn't even.
Yeah, it's gonna be like this and the fucking tigers. The Gen masks. They're like the floor doubled yesterday or something. So
you're so lazy. You didn't even generate the metadata on your mask.
What do you mean lazy? I had like 400 of them.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna generate them all. You've got to do it one by one. You've got to go click one by one, like fucking hell, next. And they don't even do it straight away. It doesn't reliably even do it.
This is the worst, and this is your fault. The freaking pineapples. That was.
They just sent me them.
That was what I knew it was over. I think
They just like they didn't even buy them. They just sent me them.
Well, Gamesy
No, this
must
is
have
the
linked
worst. This is the worst. Keep going down. Keep going
Tigers.
down. These are so bad. These by far the worst. They didn't even sell out.
You're in the deep like dark places of the NFT world where people are like, well, I'm going broke in my DMs, like because they're buying shit Kobe's buying, probably telling them what these kind of things.
Yeah, I bought like these didn't even sell out. They're absolutely awful.
I mean, look at that. That is.
Oh man.
It's because I bought them because they had this like weird 3D render thing where you could like AR them into real life, and they looked. There was a promotional video. I think Kevin Rose posted it, and it was super sick. So I was like, I'll get some of them. And then they came out, and they were just like this with like big weird eyes. They look terrible.
And then,
500 AR tigers in Kobe's house.
and then Udi,
they just went
Udi was like,
instantly to zero.
Udi said that demo takes like 15 minutes to build.
Oh shit.
Yeah, instantly to zero. Like Monster Blocks also. Monster Blocks have got some bids. They also went to zero basically though.
Yeah, you had to pay twice as much just to get those because the gas was so terrible.
Yeah. Keyboard. How do you feel about the like Holy Grail pieces versus floor pieces? Do you think that like if you're like coming into NFTs now,
Yeah.
do you think there's like a EV difference between going big and getting like a punk wild white or a zombie or a alien, or getting the instead like 10 or 20 floor pieces or whatever the ratio is?
I mean, I think it depends on your starting capital and like how much you have outside of crypto NFTs. But for somebody starting, and like my strategy is typically to buy like a bunch of floors and like know that there's way more liquidity on the floor. So if you do like want to panic out through your panic cycle, you can get out. And you just like with the liquidity levels at the rare pieces, you have to be like really right. If you're not right on the trend, you're fucking done. Like you're just gonna be stuck bigly. So people with a lot of money say to buy the rares. I'm kind of like buy the floors, churn your cost basis, and work your way up to a rares. That's kind of like what I do with Fidenzas, So I buy 10 floor Fidenzas, flip them out, and now I have one rare Fidenza. And I think like you do that once like the project has sticking power, and that's a good way to do it. But like just dumping into a rare like Weiss did is definitely dangerous.
Like Wes did. Nice shout out.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Actually, there is tons more liquidity at the floor. Don't you think though there is also a benefit from the lack of liquidity because it forces you to hold it? You're stuck.
No, that's also true. You can't go through a panic cycle with it, but you got to be right. Like I said, like if you pick something in a project that you're wrong, you're really fucked. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could go both ways, but I'm just more of a liquidity scalper flip guy, and that's the way the floor is. I mean, you have mid tiers, which are even harder to value, but I think looking at mid tier when the floor is rising is like another little spot that people overlook, because as the floor rises, floor and mid tier start to merge, and then you can pick off some mid tiers and flip them for even more when the project's gaining traction. So that's a little nugget of alpha there for you home gamers.
And then is NFTs the only thing you're doing at the moment? Are you looking at any of the other stuff that's happening in the world? Or are you just focused solely on updating your OpenSea prices?
Yeah, the OpenSea project. Yeah, so I mean, like I'm crypto trading a little bit still. Not doing well the past couple of months crypto trading. I mean, I picked the bottom, but I sold it within like 2,000 points, and then I tried a bunch of shorts. Yeah, because I'm too short term. I focused. Tried to short a couple times, kind of like went down a bunch in the crypto account. So I was like, this is kind of just a buy and hold light volatility market, focus on NFTs. Stock trading has literally been so bad because it's just up only, but up only in the sense that it's like up 0.1 to like 0.5% a day with no volatility again, besides like meme stocks, which I got blown up in a couple of those trying to short them because it's like the infinite top, like there's no anything. It's like an NFT. Like there's just no stop. It can go to anything. So I'll short like a company that, should be worth $1 million and it goes to $1 billion in a fucking day on no rhyme or reason. So it's kind of just staying away from that other stuff. I mean, like right now I'm just focusing on the NFTs, and then hopefully, I kind of want it to die down a little bit so everything can chill out and like not be so bad if it does turn, and then like we can go outside and enjoy ourselves a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. That'll be cool.
Is it accurate to say that your trading style, particularly on like Bitcoin ETH, is like you take a punt, if it doesn't work out within 17 seconds, you fucking kill the trade.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah.
And if it does work out, you let it run and you just like hit a fucking home run. But there's like, it's either a small loss that you fucking kill straight away, or like a massive win.
Yeah. So my style is like really contrarian on like a short-term basis. So it's like, yeah, it's either I take a bunch of small punts and like die death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, like when we were going up the first time a couple months ago and I was shorting each from like 3,400 to the top, I was getting near like a bad spot in liquidity again. And I was like, fuck, might literally die by 1,000 cuts here. But that's kind of my style. Just take it off. And then, but when it turns, I try to like hammer like ridiculous size and then catch it and then scalp like the parabolic move and then flip it. And like, I'm just like, you know, pure definition of a flipper into liquidity essentially.
Yeah, so you really need the markets to be liquid to be able to trade like that with size.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the same with NFTs. That's why like people are like, you're selling. It's just like how I know how to make money. You know, like when people are getting euphoric and like liquidity is popping up, I just take some off, even though it's going to be early. So.
Well, when I first followed you, I think you'd hit a couple of big wins or something, and you were like full euphoric, net worth all time high, and then I think you just like gradually ground your like net worth down by 50%, got super depressed, like I fucked it, and then like 2 weeks later you hit like one big win, and you're like, cool again, that's fine.
Yeah, literally that's been the cycle for like ever. I feel like, I mean, like that's just how it goes. Like I said, it's just those 1,000 cuts in that one major home run, but like. You know, if you don't have a lot of capital, it can be devastating. Or if you don't wait for volatility, it could be a really dangerous cycle to live in. But I feel like now I've graduated to the point where I have like enough capital that, you know, it's kind of going to be hard to kill me with 1,000 cuts, luckily.
Is that partly why you keep things in those separate buckets though? So like you could blow out your entire NFT collection, your entire crypto stuff, and then you still have stocks, you know, like.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely why, because, you know, it's not a good strategy to have all your eggs in one basket. Like, I mean, I guess that's kind of how I went almost broke the first time, because I was just doing stocks. So it's like without diversification, you know, a blow up is really obviously devastating. So that's why like people I talk to who are crypto traders just keep it all in crypto. I find it like fascinating and like, I don't know, it's crazy shit. But if you're trading like massive size, like trying to trade and just that, I don't know.
If you got loads of eggs in loads of baskets, you got like loads of eggs in loads of baskets. It's like you got to think about so many things. Like what? Like how do you think? I can't even think about one thing at once. My attention span is long gone. If you've got 7 baskets to think about, your day must be real busy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right in that aspect, but I mean, I try to pick like lower volatility shit besides my trading accounts for like the other eggs, so you don't even have to look at them, you know. So. Obviously the high volatility accounts, like if stocks were going crazy and crypto and NFTs, I don't know what the hell I'd do. I'd probably like explode and die or something, but hopefully, and like, you know, they make up a lot of money doing it. But
look, the hot potato money flow thesis suggests that's not even possible anyway.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Exactly. It's like the high stakes hot potato has hit NFTs and now it's at the highest of stakes. But, I mean, it's definitely crazy. I mean, hopefully we're not all holding back and that, maybe it's not even hot potato. We're all, you know, MoMA's coming around the corner for fudgies.
I do think it's strange how like there's a lot of people that never clicked with crypto, but now they like have NFT driven stuff in their profile descriptions on Twitter or wherever else. And like it pulls in normies much more so. And I think it's, we all underestimated the power of like a collectibles market relative to, you know, trading altcoins or something like that we were all accustomed to. And I wonder if it as obscene as it seems, if there'll consistently be like some NFT collection somewhere doing something interesting for quite a long time, like longer than we anticipate.
Oh, I think so for sure. It's just going to like cycle through. I think like once the froth is culled out, you're going to see like just cyclical like booms in certain collections. And I think that's like the next thing to focus on. Like it could even be just cycling through different art blocks and like ones that come out. But that's what I was thinking about today. The same thing that, because like people aren't just going to quit. I mean, a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money or something probably if we top. But I'm not saying the top's in. I'm not trying to scare people. But like it's obviously a high stakes hot potato at a point, unless liquidity keeps coming in and big liquidity keeps coming in, which it has been. But I mean, like at some point it's going to slow down, and you have to just be prepared and like the stuff you own, and I don't know, just have a plan and not just fire at everything would be like my advice there.
What else goes into your like way you look for a collection? Like, do you stick just with art blocks? Do you look for
Right.
interesting collections outside of that?
I mean, I think what there's so many good resources right now. I mean, Deezus Spaces has tons of fucking alpha. I mean, like Twitter has an infinite amount of alpha, like Fitch, Fonro, Coin Alchemist. I mean, everybody, VVD, like you follow big wallets on Nansen. I just started doing that. What else? I mean, once you find things that people call it on Twitter, you join the Discord. Punk's Discord has tons of info. Artblocks Discord chat. Emergence Discord is one of my favorite. I mean, literally, you need like just 3 screens of fucking Discords, Twitter, and Telegram, and following the right people, and you'll just like, my way is like find breadcrumbs through that, then source the project, and then like look at the liquidity, look at supply, you know, research the artists. Do I like the art, the aesthetic of it? I like to think I have a good eye, so I kind of think like if I like it, that other people will like it, and that's kind of how like my general breakdown of like steps go to finding shit. I mean, I haven't been like minting projects lately. I haven't had a lot of success minting projects. I kind of think coming in after and like buying ones you like, see the reaction from the mint, like if liquidity comes in, see if you like the art actually, not just the promo bullshit, and then you know, buy from there. And there's still plenty of ROI left on the table. But I think just following all the right people, and you can see a lot of the people I interact with on Twitter are the right people to follow. I mean, like without them, I'd be nothing for sure. It's all just like information from people that have their nose to the ground. And it's been like propelled me for sure, just like listening to them. Like I don't source the shit myself usually. It's usually someone else sources it, and like I just follow their breadcrumbs.
That makes sense. I think it was so much of crypto, I guess, for the last decade for me has been similar to that. It's like having a bunch of people around you that seem talented, seem good at what they're doing, and you trust them, and then like just sharing information. And sometimes just asking people, "What do you think about this?" And then being like, "Yeah, seems reasonable as a series of thoughts. Seems logical." Gives you the confidence to like hold for a bit longer or make the buy when you weren't going to do it or something. So I do think that's a good shout.
I think that's how I made this $7 million sale recently, was because Trill was talking about Def Beef nonstop, and then I go in and you see the project and you see how special it is, and just like how like ridiculously like, you know, innovative it was and creative and so much different than any other NFT that was on the market. So that brought me to it, and then obviously it just spiraled to like a point where it was a shitload of money, and I like didn't want to sell that ever, but I don't know. I took the sale. So crazy shit.
I told you to take the sale. I was bothering you.
Everyone else literally said do not sell, but they're all like, I don't know. I mean, it's like such a ridiculous ROI, and like puts me in a spot where like my NFT gains have really outnumbered like the portfolio. So it's like a super free roll. You kind of have to just take it at that point, I guess. Yeah. Even though as sick as it was to take, because
let's talk about Def Beef for a bit, because I actually learned about this from Kevin Rose's podcast. And he talked about it, and I thought it was interesting because it's audio, but the guy like writes this stuff directly in C, so it's like the lowest level kind of hardness of what something on the blockchain could be. Like even if Ethereum failed, this is just C. Turns it into these audio pieces. You bought, what is it, a whole set of them?
Yeah, so some of the series only have 8 that are even possible to buy, so it's super supply constrained. And I mean, it's not even just audio. Like some of these are like the glitch box, which is series 4 is programmatic, and like you can create your own audio and visuals through programming it yourself. And then there's series 3, which is Entropy, which every time you send it to a new wallet, the NFT degrades further, and so does the audio. It degrades as well. So it's like shit that like no one does. Like it's just so crazy that the creative genius. So yeah, it was pretty gross to sell it. I mean, this one I definitely was in love with.
Talking of your short-term flips, like 100 ETH to like 2,000 ETH in 3 months, pretty good. Like, you know, no one will say that, you know, like people might laugh at you if it goes another 10x, but like no one can say that it was a bad trade. Right. However, you also recently bought a zombie.
Yeah, that was another one.
And then the very next day, you flipped it for like plus $1 million.
Yeah, I bought it for 400 ETH and flipped it for 800 ETH the next day. I mean,
who was the buyer?
The buyer was 3AC. So I mean, it's never good when you sell something to them. You know, people say it's like not good when you sell to me. No, I'm like paper hands, just fucking whatever. You sell the 3AC, you know, you're like, ah, shit, buy one back. Well, there's no more zombies to buy unless you want to pay up. But like, yeah, that was crazy. I mean, that was the first big flip I had in NFTs for a big amount of money. But it catalyzed, I think it catalyzed a run for punks in a sense. Like, that's when some of the bigger moves started happening. Then there was like, actually, no, it didn't catalyze it. I mean, there's apes going up before that. I guess it catalyzed it because 3AC bought it. But
Yeah.
Wait, which one was yours? This number 9?
yeah, the shit-eating zombie.
Yeah.
There he is. So I mean, it also allowed me to plow. I literally turned around the next day and plowed 800 ETH straight into art blocks. So, and that was like
all
2 or 3.
Did really
That was 3
well.
weeks ago. Yeah, so I made more than a 2x on the 800 ETH than
Good
a
lord.
zombie sold today for 1600 ETH.
Yeah.
So it was like, do I want to hold an illiquid asset, like, and hope it goes another 2x? Was my thinking in 1 year. I didn't know it'd be like 3 weeks. But or like, what's the time value of money, and do I want to like throw that into shit that is cheaper price that I could see like mooning quicker and getting liquidity on quicker and having more diversification was kind of my thought process in flipping it. This was another flip everyone told me not to do. Everyone basically tells me not to do any of my flips.
Ledger, chat is saying that Rookie just bought the red dinosaur that I showed on the stream.
Keyboard Monkey was literally like, I'm dumping on my friends. So Rookie was like, well, what are you dumping on me? Let me just go buy it.
No. I'm positive on a lot of projects right now. You know, I got the Odell rundown for you, even, you know, what he should buy with that $1 million.
Oh, man.
All right, okay,
Wait, hold
let's
on.
do that.
Do I own any of these, Keyboard Monkey? This is what
I don't
need.
know.
Ledger, if you don't own, it's too late. We need the alpha.
I've
So,
got
like,
a
if
second computer. I'm just going to be making orders.
you're competing with
tell.
Rookie, mate. Rookie's got his MetaMask open and he's fucking buying live.
Open it up over here right now. Let's go.
man.
All right, tell me where to go. Tell me where to go.
Yeah, so like Odell tweeted after the show, basically saying like, since chatting to us, and he like now wants to think about other NFT projects he should be getting into, and where should he start? And I just told him just copy Keyboard Monkey. So like, here is your message to O. We'll clip it and I'll send it to him afterwards.
Yeah, sounds good.
Just tell him what should he do with
I
his
told him
$1 million.
to buy flips, but apparently he wasn't interested in that.
So $1 million, we'll call it 330 ETH, right? So first of all, I mean, like, I would have him buy a 101 from a good artist, but we're not going to throw that in there because like he's 330 ETH is almost like priced out of the good shit now. So we'll start with the art box breakdown. I wouldn't buy a Fidenza here because they're just up too fucking much. I would go to the lower level one that I love the art on, the Archetype. That's 50 ETH. Okay, so we spend 50 ETH. Then we got to go to the Squiggles,
Hold on,
which are
bro.
all right, I'll slow down.
Bro,
Curated.
you were in curated. We are
Archetype,
not
left side.
Archetype.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling around.
You got this.
Okay, we're looking at.
So I think the
archetypes,
floor is like 50.
Gosh, these are all gonna pump, and I don't own any of them.
Oh, dude, don't buy these. I'm literally that one right there. So I don't want. It's like, I'm not trying to pump into my liquidity. Like, don't fucking buy those.
Oh wait, you don't own. You don't own
No,
that
it's
one.
it's the next one.
The
Well,
second.
don't buy
That's
these.
how you. That's how.
Don't
you
buy mine,
sneaky-
all right?
That's how you.
Yeah, don't buy
somebody's
mine.
about to buy this. He said,
Please
"Buy
don't.
my bag." He just
I don't
said,
wanna, like, look like
Odell, buy my bag. I happen to have one for sale.
I knew that was gonna look bad. All right, but then the next thing I would go through is the Fuzzy Squiggle. It's historic.
Fucking Fuzzy
First project
Squiggle.
on Art Blocks.
All right.
We go with the fuzzy one because
Fuzzy.
that's 20 ETH right there.
I don't see the fuzzy squiggles.
It's
Just
Squiggles,
throw me
Fuzzy
squiggles. Throw me
Yeah.
squiggles. Yeah, just go to squiggles.
Where?
All right, bro. Just forget it. It's a squiggly line.
No, we have to look at all of them. We have to look at
Not
all
Fuzzy,
of them.
filter by Fuzzy, filter by Fuzzy. Come on, Ledger, you're revealing yourself to be a boomer.
I am very much a boomer. This is not a surprise to anyone. All right, so okay.
I mean, but you have to take off all. There you go.
yeah, I hate the way that.
Okay. Fuzzy squigs, 20 more.
Okay, so this was the first squiggle.
No, I mean, like, there's the first project on Art Blocks with squiggles.
This is like
So you-
these are some of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Whoa. You're going to make some enemies with that one. This is like the legendary one. They
I
just
know,
started
but like
pumping
this is like literally my finger on
I
the
get
phone.
it.
I haven't.
I get it. But he likes fluffs. I get it.
the fluffs are, there's a craft there. Like it's a
Yeah. Anyway, the next thing would be get some dynamic slices.
dynamic slice.
Let's just get 2 of those to make it 20 more ETH
Okay.
because
These
they're
are
pretty
actually nice.
and I think they're solid.
I might
I would
actually
hang
be
one
able
of
to
these.
afford
in my
one
house.
of these.
Yeah, I like those. And then the next thing I would do for a higher end piece would be a ringer, since those haven't blown up as much as Fidenzas, but the artist Dimitri, who has like curated these and created this algo, I mean, like it's pretty sick. And there's like infinite ways to string a string around a peg, apparently, something like that, and that's kind of like what this is based off. I mean, I don't think I'm
these
wrong.
are only 92 ETH, so
Yeah,
very
but that's
affordable.
like the high end part of his art blocks. So now we got 200 in art blocks. Then we're gonna go to the generative side, like the Ariz stuff. Ariz, I don't know. The Avid lines.
This you can talk about. This is pumping my bag, so let's go, baby.
We got the Avid lines.
I legit love Avid
I might be
lines, though.
low ask on one of these too. No, I don't know.
No, you're not.
No, I'm
I
not.
found yours.
Okay, so Avid lines. I would pick either between these or Pole Squares, one of the floors, or whichever one he likes.
Yeah.
Pole Squares is the other project by Ariz.
So Avid lines, these are cool because they're kind of a derivative of autoglyphs, right? So
Right, yeah, they're derivative of autoglyphs. So I mean, like, yeah, so you had, when you were minting them, you selected autoglyph and it came out with this, the generative thing that pumped those out. I mean, I don't know all the technical terms, but yeah, derivative. Pole squares, which are sick.
I love these. I missed, there was one I wanted and then I missed it and now I'm too poor.
Yeah, I mean, everything's been popping off so much, but I mean, like, if he gets comp to like art blocks, obviously these can go a lot higher, but I have been selling some of these too in my panic state, my panic euphoria cycle.
Yeah, but you, like we said, you still have 750 items in your
Yeah,
OpenSea,
no, and
so
I mean, like, I bought these at like one each.
yeah,
So
you're
like,
you're
big
always
profit.
buying, always selling, so people can
Yeah,
keep that
exactly.
in mind.
And then I would go Solvency by Ezra Miller. So I just bought one of these like 2 days ago, but they're a super interesting one as well.
There was one other by the Ariz guy, the Frame Urgence, which
Frame Agents was already easy. Yeah, those are sick as well.
these are cool.
You can throw those in there too. But and then we got to go to the profile pick side. We got to get them diversification.
Get some
So we got
penguins.
50 ETH left. I think you got to go basically. The floor was 30 when I made this little spreadsheet for him, but apparently it's pumped already. Maybe somebody got a hold of the sheet before I could come live.
Don't
with it.
open the honorary members ledger. You are viewers.
The honoraries are
That
the real
Trupo
board
guy
apes.
is going to be fucking raging.
Those are the real board apes, right?
So I've never even owned one of these fucking things. Somebody sent one to my wallet once, but I just have a problem with the board apes. Their avatars, they just come at me all the time for some reason.
Oh,
They're
do.
just
I
don't like me.
sold my honorary board ape and I bought 2 actual apes
The fl-
because I want to participate in the airdrop for the mutants that comes out on Saturday or Sunday or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
The
board apes
floor
is
just went to
really
36.
good.
It was 25 yesterday. I think they announced.
Yeah,
it.
it's because they announced the mutant thing. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, board apes are wild, man. Like I fucking was sleeping through the mint, and then I refused to buy because I missed the mint. And
I was
here
looking
we
at
are.
these. I was looking at these at 4 when they were 4 ETH, and I was like,
I think that's where I sold, like 40. If I sold the one that somebody
Yeah.
sent me, I should probably send him the
so
money.
buying
Like,
Keyboard
if-
Monkeys
if- message
bags.
me.
Bags is
Message
not-
me if you're that guy. And then we got to get some pudgies. 5 floor pudgies. How do you know? You had it queued up.
Dude, I love the penguins. I'm not gonna.
You got to
lie,
get some of these.
I think these are freaking fantastic.
Then I
It
threw in
took me a
some-
long time, but I'm onto it now. I have a penguin. Do y'all want to go look at my penguin? Kobe, you want to look at my penguin?
I mean,
Yeah, mate, of
if you're
course.
forcing us.
Yeah.
You're proud of it.
Look at this thing. That's the cutest thing
Look.
you've ever seen in your life.
That is. It's
You
cute.
bought one with
There's no
Cobain
bad
glasses. I
ones.
like that.
I know. I do it to support the family.
No bad penguins. And then we got to get some spicy forgotten
No good
runes.
penguins either.
Spicy what?
No, just forgotten runes. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm saying it's spicy because they're really cheap, but they're cool. They got this video game vibe.
Oh,
I
I've
think they
got
are
one of
coming
these
out-
for sale right now because I don't understand them.
Yeah,
I
don't-
minted one
mean,
that I think is
I-
awesome, but
I
like,
have a lot of
nobody
these.
wants it.
They're just cool. I don't know. And then we got to get some fluffs for Ledger. Just 5 of them. 5 fluffs. Just to make Ledger happy.
All right. I'm
Fluff,
not even-
they're legit going to 0. Legit
don't
going to
need to
0.
do
They-
this
you
one.
just don't understand fluffs.
Well, this is why we did diversify, because you got to have some moonshots for the metaverse in case everyone wants to look like a pedo rabbit.
So, well, no. These, wow. Unbelievable.
I'm kidding. I'm not putting his bag.
So these are actually, I mean, these are the music plus like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with them. You can get the like full downloadable
Bro,
version.
Yeah.
you're in your mid 30s.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell thousands of people that you can do loads of stuff with the 3D rabbit. You can do like music. Look at them, mate. What have you taken? Look at it. What are you doing?
I don't want the music,
show this
man.
to your wife. She'll immediately leave. She'll take the kids and fucking book it, bro.
That's awesome.
And then the last thing was I think we got to get Odell one floor hash mask because you can't forget where you came from, and hash masks still need to be in the portfolio. And that was the full portfolio.
Wait, you would just get a floor hash mask? You don't like any of the
I
categories?
mean, if Odell wants to pay up, I think I'm the bottom mask on all the categories. I don't want to tell him to pay those.
Like,
But
I feel like
I do like the categories. I like the categories, but we only had one ETH in the spreadsheet.
All right, my
yeah.
summary from this selection of NFTs that we're buying for Odell is all NFTs are trash.
Well,
That's what I've learned. That's what I've learned from looking at Keyboard Monkey's Holy Grail. I don't like any of it. It's all dog shit and
All
cringe.
right, you know what?
Wait, I wanna shill one. Keyboard Monkey. It's not in my. I don't own it. I just think it's a cool concept. Is it in? It's the insects. Is it in the factory or the playground?
Oh, insects. Yeah. I think it's in playground. I mean, like I completely missed it, so I kind of when I miss shit, I just like write it off and don't look at it because I don't want to know about it anymore.
Yeah.
Because like Coin Alchemist has been pumping these, and like even DVD has told me about them, and I just like I was in like a down cycle.
Yeah,
didn't
I
wanna buy.
saw. I saw one of these top ones for 12 ETH, and I didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's by Schmembler or whatever. I think
It was
who
this
made
one right
Alien
here.
Clock.
I wanted to buy this one right here. And, oh, you can't see it. It's on Kobe.
Yeah, this
one
artist has
right
been blowing up, man. I mean, he's really good.
But what's interesting about these to me, and that's what some of this stuff plays into, is you have the art component of it, but then there's speculation for this one that the different aliens essentially make up like a battle squad, and then you'll be able to play a game like with your team.
Oh God, I fucking
So
hate that.
for Schembler's Alien Clocks, if you own the whole set, you get like priority. You get priority first drop. So that's probably why people like they got that win. It's probably true, but
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, do you want to pay like 500K to play that game? I don't know.
yeah. So the idea was that you collect like the whole squad, and then you go play the game or whatever, and it's the collection of insects. I just thought it was a neat idea.
No,
I'm not
that is
saying
cool.
somebody needs to pay this much money for it, but
Well, no, that's innovative, and that's like the kind of shit you need in NFTs to keep the cycles going. Because like if you just do the same bullshit all the time, it's pretty stale. And we were stuck in that rut for a little bit. And I think that's why Liquidity got pulled. But no, this is definitely innovative. I support it. I don't own any, unfortunately.
I've only seen one cool NFT ever, I think, and it was the one that had the ping pong game built into it, and when you tapped on the things, they made
I'll give
different
you a break.
sounds.
Bring up my favorite NFT that I own. It's VR Girl by Hackatow. I'm putting this shit in the basement once the screens get hooked up. But like the screen companies are just, I don't
VR
know.
girls, this collection.
Just search VR Girl on Super Rare in Google.
Okay, well I have to like switch screens and
Oh my god.
Just-
well,
Yeah, because if he searches VR girl on his own browser, it's gonna be weird shit.
you gotta make sure it's correct. This is just a huge troll to like get him to search VR Girl on screen.
It's gonna be the entire Google search results are all gonna be purple. They're all purple. He's clicked on them all before.
Literally just VR Girl.
What have you made me do over here? Look at this.
I mean, I was just giving you my favorite NFT because Kobe gave it, but that's mine.
This is your favorite NFT.
Yeah, that I own.
We're getting banned from Twitch for this one.
Oh
The
shit!
penguins,
Pull it down.
the penguins covering one. I don't think that counts though.
So these are the kind of one-on-ones that I'm interested in. It's like really good artist Hackatow, really OG crypto art.
I'm all in
I
on
don't
the
know.
screen
I think
now.
it's
Like, what the
tasteful.
fuck is going on?
Here,
I think it's tasteful.
now it's suitable for work. I moved.
Yeah,
Kobe.
it's a tasteful boob. They let me have it on Twitter as my banner, so it must be okay. But yeah,
I hope no one that's epileptic is watching.
yeah, what the fuck is that's not part of the NFT. That's Ledger's background.
What are you talking about?
That the shaking
on
screen is not.
on the call, it's like proper
Yeah.
fucking up the screen. It's
Yeah,
nuts.
pull it.
Can we take it off now because it's all so terrible?
Yeah, pull it. Kobe just bad taste.
Look, my strategy for NFTs is the opposite of yours. I see something, and if it incites a rage in me, I mint it because I know it's going to do well. Because I'm like, that fucking hate that. It's fucking shit, dog shit. I mint it straight away. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. Fucking mint it.
Has it been
Because
going well?
all the shit I hate just goes to infinity. It's like the art is terrible. That's going to go up. Mint it. That's my strategy. It's
I didn't
called
see
rage
the
minting.
penguins. I didn't see the penguins. I saw a lot of rage. So
No, he
I don't
wasn't.
know.
He didn't rage about the penguins. He
Selective
just told.
strategy.
He just told the
No, I
penguin
know.
people that they were.
I think he found it funny to like fuel the fire and see how high the rage could like ban the
No,
penguins.
I'm like I own like 2% of all penguins, and I thought like how best to pump penguins. You can't just
yeah.
shill it.
Yeah.
You can rage tweet about it forever, and no one ever gets mad at you.
Yeah,
Like
no.
all press is good press, right? And if the prices are going up, here's the thing: I've tweeted negatively about 100 NFT projects. Like I've on this stream, I've said all of them are shit. I hate all of them, and the only ones that have ever gone to zero are when the team flip out about it. The team go like, "No, you're fucking wrong," and like there's like, "You're fucking like." When the team lose it, that project goes to zero, and it's not because I've tweeted negatively about it, because I've tweeted negatively about all of them. It's because the team are fucking insane. That's when it goes to zero. The thing is,
I think
if the team are nuts, it goes to zero.
I think an NFT collection called Waifus is also a good reason to go to zero anyway.
No, if the team were not insane, it would have pumped. Like
Dungeon
penguins
Knight,
are fucking stupid. They're as stupid as waifus. They're as stupid as passive apes. It's like it's all fucking stupid.
Yeah, but their community doesn't care.
Yeah, if penguins, they just say
Penguins
huddle, which
they
is
make
huddle
great memes.
with a
They
U.
make great
They say no, you're wrong, huddle, and it's fucking funny. You're like, and then
are
it
funny,
just
dude.
keeps going up. And if a
Octelmo.
project keeps going up, while it's getting like FUD and like
Yeah.
people are talking shit about it, it's the most bullish thing in the world. It means it's
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
resistant to whatever. So I just decided to pump penguins. I own all of them.
That's the only thing that makes me slightly bearish on the Bored Apes is because that guy, like a couple of those people from that community were so ridiculous about me selling the honorary Bored Ape to a guy with 1.5 million followers. I'm like, he made it his profile pic. I'm like, he can do so much more for them.
They went on a war against me because I minted 1% of bulls on the blocks. I was like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, no one else could have any. I was like, well, I just saved them all money. Fuck off. No offense, bulls on the block.
Yeah.
I don't want to make enemies out here. It's just me being me.
Yeah, I actually thought the Bored Apes community was really cool until a couple of them like came at me really hard, and
I do think they got a bit tilted by penguins.
Oh yeah, because I mean the penguins are so cute.
Penguins are cute. They make good memes.
They got upset about penguins. That's actually why I decided to FUD the penguins, because I was like, I thought the concept of someone getting actually upset about like what are effectively children's drawings was hilarious. I was like, I want to be the Peter Schiff of children drawn penguins.
If you think about it though, the Bored Ape floor is now higher than the Punks floor was like a month ago.
Is that a kind of a
pretty
comp
nuts.
that matters though? But I mean, yeah, you're right.
That's a
It
little
is
scary.
higher. No, yeah. I mean, punks have been going up too, but it is crazy. I mean, it feels like a lot more celebrities have been adopting the Bored Apes, at least like athletes and like media names. I don't know.
Yeah, Des Bryant's had a Bored Ape as his profile pic for a while. I think he might come on the show.
Yeah, but you can't, like, Des can't throw up a penguin though, can he? Because he's gonna be like, people are gonna be like, you okay? You okay?
Yeah,
you
Penguins
doing
are too
all right?"
small for the actual huddle that Des has to go in.
Kobe was like, who's Des Bryant? In his lack of knowledge about football. And then we showed him and he was like, this guy's a freaking beast. Like looking at his pictures from when he was peak athlete. And he was like, Ledger, are you sure you want to be on the same screen as this guy?
Yeah, Odell and Dez is a good back-to-back.
Yeah,
both play for the teams.
We're the official crypto podcast of the NFL. Is that right? NFL.
I don't
Sounds
think
like
we're
it.
allowed to say that. They'll like sue us.
Yeah, shit.
have rights for that.
Well, we're the unofficial. Does that work?
There you go.
Of the professional football people. I don't think you
Yeah.
can say
So one thing that's been doing well and we haven't spoke about is Parallels. Do you own any Parallels? Did you miss out on it?
Parallels. No, I caught that one really early. The Parallel team's amazing. The cards are amazing. The art's amazing. I mean, they have an ambitious project. There's obviously execution risk, which like scares me as a trader. But I mean, they've executed on everything I said so far, and I mean, like everything they've shown, and just the team. I don't know. It's been so fucking good. I still own like hundreds of Parallel cards. I have a lot in this account, and one's the other. I have sold off my high value ones just because they went up so much in value from where I bought them, so I took profits. But
can you
seems
explain
regrettable.
Parallel to me? Because I don't understand it. Is it a card game?
Yeah, no. It's
Like,
a card
mate, you're
game.
gonna
I mean,
expose
the
him.
game's
He's
not-
like, he's just shilled how good it is. You're like, what is it? And he's like,
So
yeah, I don't know.
innovative.
No, all right.
Go,
So
go.
it's a card game. I mean, like it's gonna be. I mean, like you're gonna have to ask the team. It just seems like a Magic the Gathering, but like super advanced and like way better, and like the NFT version with good art and like the crypto version of that. I mean, I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. I don't know.
And it's like
Look,
$10,000.
I like this moment. I like this moment because I think this is the pure essence of crypto trading. You look at something, you kind of get it. You go, it's cool enough, and it seems different to anything I've ever seen. I'm not going to do the additional research to find out what it actually is. I'll do that bit of research if it goes down. Like if the price goes down, that's when you figure out what you own.
That's exactly right. And like the right people like it and say it's going to be good. So
there's definitely a reason. There's definitely a reason I've learned so much about Flux.
Trader. Yeah, no, I mean, I can't say I'm an expert on anything I'm really buying. I'm good at trading trends and copy trading, and then I learn about stuff as it comes along. If it does poorly, like Kobe said, but I mean, like, unfortunately, I guess I'm not a genius as a background of all these things that I'm buying.
What I liked about Parallel was their drop was like super smooth, right? Like they didn't have like massive gas wars. They had like it was very well.
Execution on everything has been unreal. So it's been like super different. I mean, it's just different, like you said. It's like you could see that they're doing something different, and that's really all that matters at this stage in the game because the game isn't out yet. You don't know the mechanics. So I mean, I can't explain the fucking mechanics when it's not out. So
well, somebody did tell me.
That's the reason. That's the reason. Yeah.
Somebody did tell me that the parallel cards, like if you have the masterpieces or prime.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there's a mechanic.
They essentially like have some kind of yield.
Right.
So like the derivatives of that card essentially pay you as the masterpiece holder.
Right. So masterpieces, you get 1% of all the sales of that derivative card into perpetuity from Parallel. So there's like one masterpiece for every card. It's another like cool ass mechanic that they're doing just to create value.
Don't tell Gary Gensler about this.
Tell who?
Don't tell Gary Gensler about this. The SEC. He's going to be.
Wait,
you get a yield on your NFTs now? All NFTs are securities.
Can you blank that part out? No. And then they have like the special editions, which is only certain editions being printed. So the game won't be like 500K to play. They're going to give derivatives of all the cards that'll be way cheaper. But that's why people are buying masterpieces and special editions. You know, equating them to like the Black Lotus of Magic the Gathering, like just like really early pieces that have super small supplies. So if the game does blow up, you'll be like holding 1 of 30 of like a really popular game, which could pay off big time in the end. I mean, it's paid off big time already. So I kind of already took the profits. GG me.
And then you mentioned there's execution risk, and like, how do you think about execution risk? Because a lot of NFT projects these days, like you have Punks, and it was like it's a picture, it's like a pixelated picture. Face. And then you had Hashmask, which was like it's a thing, but there's like sort of like some complex rarity system with hidden traits that people can figure out. So it's sort of like a choose, like not choose your own adventure. I don't know what the kind of game is. Like there's kind of a like a discovery game that a community got to play, woven into it. And they're doing some other stuff. And over time, it seems to have gotten a little bit more like ICOs again, where it's like we're doing this profile picture drop, but there's going to be a game, there's going to be NFT link, we're going to have like yield on it, you're going to like, and it's just people start making shit up again and saying that they're going to do all these plans. And in some ways, I understand what they're going for, right? They want to make you excited. They want to give you a narrative of why you should own theirs versus everyone else's in a market where there's supply side mainstream adoption. But at the same time, it is actually kind of bearish, right? Because then you attach the value to these promises that they've made. And like the Penguins, I don't know what the Penguins are doing, but like maybe like Punks is a better example. It's like you don't expect anything. It's just a picture. It's just a picture. There's no roadmap. You don't need to rely on a team for future value. It's just you get a picture, the deal's the deal. And how do you think about those projects where there is execution risk? Do you think it is like bullish? Do you think it's bearish, or do you think it just depends on how they do?
It's bullish near term, like you said. I mean, like you're explaining it really well. So it's bullish near term with the hype cycle, but the execution risk grows as time goes on and as the project sits. And if they don't make their promises, it's super bearish. I mean, you're explaining why I did take profits when things went up like 30, 40x. Especially, I mean, like I don't want to like FUD the game. I mean, I'm not knowledgeable enough to like talk about it, but like making a big fucking game is not easy because like I used to play a lot of games, and I've played many like MMOs and shit that have failed and flopped. I mean, it's just not easy. And I'm not saying that's what this is, but that's where the execution risk comes in and the danger. But it's a longer term time frame type thing too. You won't know if the execution risk is going to fail for a long time yet. So it's it is weird. You're explaining it kind of well with the ICO comparison, though. It's kind of interesting.
I think what can be cool with NFTs is where they don't ever promise anything, but then every now and then they do something cool anyway, like that no one expected. And
yeah.
I think to Larva Labs' credit, I guess they did this as well, right? Like, didn't Punk owners get to mint a Meebit for free as an example?
Yeah.
But they never like teased it or anything that I know of.
Yeah, no, it is cool when NFT projects do that. I mean, like those are low promises to keep, whereas, creating something big is a higher promise to keep. Like dropping airdrops is a great thing for NFT things. They're giving you free money essentially. There's plenty of other innovative things that I'm sure like smarter people than me will come up with to make NFTs even more like utility based, which makes them really cool. And, it opens up so many doors. And I think that's why mainstream adoption and like why a lot of mainstream people like them too. It's not just like, a crypto coin, or you get some attachment to what you own, and maybe you get some rewards too. I don't know. There's so much open-ended stuff you can do.
Yeah, and you mentioned when you were talking through the things that OBJ should get, you mentioned one-of-ones from artists.
Yeah.
I do think this is probably the only redeeming feature of NFTs as a NFT hater, NFT hater, willing to be convinced otherwise, but currently skeptical. I do think that the one-of-ones from artists when they're pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that it like democratizes. It gives access to artists to money. Basically, they've had these real long careers, and then they maybe have to go work for agencies and shit, and they get to do the thing they care about, and people are willing to pay for it. I think that's really cool. And I do think owning like unique one-of-ones, not like these collectible sets, is probably a much bigger flex. Like I get why the collectible sets are pumped, because it's like kind of a coin, right? It's like fungible enough that loads of people can have them and you can share the narrative around. And if only one person owns a random thing, then like you don't have that sort of community pump thing. But I do think owning one-of-ones is probably
I think that's why I don't flip my one-on-ones like pretty much ever, because you could treat it as actual art. Like you said, it's frictionless way for the artist to gain exposure, whereas before they have to go to a gallery and you have to like walk by their shit. It's pretty hard to gain exposure. Where here it's in front of so many eyeballs. And
yeah, I saw a tweet the other day and it was like, someone is like, my first piece just sold for like 22 ETH, and there was a photo of him lying on the floor like crying and whatever, and he was like super stoked about it. And like that, I think that's pretty cool when those things happen. And like I think that is a redeeming factor of NFTs. And like obviously the one you've got on the screen is a masterpiece.
No, I think one-of-one will be definitely sticky. I mean, like sure, it could have a downturn too, but it's not gonna like go to zero. The next copy is not gonna go to zero. Like you can hang those in your house. It's digitally native. There will be good ass screens that come out. The technology is only gonna advance. You'll be able to display all this shit, just like you would a normal painting. And I think that part of the NFTs is right after what I did after Hashmask was getting into these, because of that factor, like understanding that part of it and appreciating that part of it. Now, I mean, like collectibles and all that stuff is just where the liquidity is currently. So, I think it'll come to here at some point, but it's impossible to value these like properly to some extent. So I guess that's why funds and shit aren't aping yet.
Someone named Lunch Lady really wants the up-only NFT. That was minted on stream months ago, for what it's worth for folks. I thought I'd pull up Shams Mechia. I think her stuff is really cool.
Like displaying that in your house would be sick. Like, I mean, like there will be screens that are super flat and super high res that can do that. Like, got to be soon, you'd assume.
Especially these like picture frame TVs that exist now. Like they look pretty classy on the wall. Yeah,
but I mean, even like past repurposed TVs, it needs to go past that to like actually catch mainstream adoption, I feel like, and just be completely frictionless, stick that shit on your wall and come from a wallet, MetaMask wallet into there. And like you could cycle through so much art too, and like display different art for different times of day, different moods, whatever you want. So that part of NFTs is definitely cool.
We got a good question from Luke, our moderator in the chat. Shout out Luke. What a king. He said somebody in the chat asked a decent question, which is, what would you do if someone has like less than 10 ETH they're willing to put into this, rather than the kind of 300 ETH budget?
I mean, it's such a hard thing to answer, but I mean, I guess you really do have to start with collectible type projects and wait till they're minted, and then like try to find ones that gain traction and like momentum, and just try to flip them like that. Like ones that are doing volume, volume's going off, people are trading it. So you're not just going to get stuck with a bag off the bat. I think that's where I'd start. looking for volume and just trading up my way that way, and then working up to like more liquid stuff like art blocks and whatnot, where you can get bigger gains. But I think you just have to start with the really liquid profile pick type projects. I think that's why everyone like with smaller portfolios gravitate towards those as well. But you just like, you don't want to just try to hold them in a perpetuity though and hope they're punks, in my opinion. I would just I recommend just flipping personally, but that's just me.
That's very similar to like how most people that have been around for a cycle or two would tell you to play altcoins as well historically, right? Like if you just assume your altcoin is going to be like the next Ethereum, you're probably going to lose. But if you play the momentum, you're probably going to do okay. You probably won't hit the top performance of everyone that hits some home run on a project they love, but you probably won't go broke either.
Yeah, exactly. I don't suggest minting shit. Like I know people love doing the minting lottery, like with gas wars and shit like that. I mean, it's just a good way. I don't know. I mean, like I think it's minus EV, but maybe I'm wrong. I
think minting goes one of two ways, right? You either hit it out the park and you mint the like lowest price ever for a project that in 3 months, 2 months, whatever, is like super frothy and exciting and you've killed it. But once you've minted it, you have so many decision points along the way. Like you have to continually choose to not sell as the bids like creep up. And it's like, that's like the Fidenza guy. Like he got a bid on his thing and he flipped it and probably walked away being like, double my money or something. And then, or you just get stuck with a liquid like trash. Like the bids go to zero on day 2 and you have nonsense and you've got to start having a trash wallet to send all of it to because it's too embarrassing to look at, or using the hidden feature on OpenSea. And those are like the two ways it goes. In many ways, minting and flipping day 1 has been like profitable for loads of people. It seems like really easy if you find something it's minting fast enough, or people are excited about it enough, and they want that the thing you did with Hashmask, right? Like digging into the rarities, finding what's good. They're willing to overpay on those first few days. You can flip a bunch of stuff in that time. You can over mint, flip half of them and keep half or whatever. I think that's done well for people. But what you're describing is you're like finding a momentum trade in NFTs, right? You're like seeing something that started trending, it started working, and just like jumping in and then holding for higher prices and like selling into the trend.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe it's just because I haven't had success minting. I know people have, but like I find the momentum trading just way easier. I mean, you could just look in OpenSea statistics. They have a full statistics page. Just go in there and break it down by different categories, and you can see stuff that's trending, or there's a lot of ways to figure it out.
So let's shift the conversation a bit. Let's say you're on house money now and you've maybe taken some off the table as well. You've profited enough and you're in it for the art. You're in it for the tech or whatever component of this. Like, is there stuff that you think you'd be willing to just throw in a vault forever and see like how's this perform in 5 years or 10 years? Or do you think that's largely going to be a huge waste of time?
No, yeah. I mean, I keep saying that there is stuff like that, and then like the Death Thief, somebody comes along and pays an astronomical price that I don't expect, and I sell it. But like there's like the Fidenza that I have. I mean, like if somebody offered me a 700, 800, I would sell it. So I mean, like I don't know what to say. Like I think there is, and I think if you can grind your cost basis down to like low enough, or like to zero, or be positive on a trade, it's definitely worthwhile to stick some away from projects you like. And I think that's kind of how I've been trading, just to gain like exposure for when if it does become like mass adopted and the next big thing, so you don't feel bad about selling all of it. That's kind of my strategy, like grind the cost base down, hold some, and move on to the next thing with capital that we have. But there's always a price for me, at least. I'll sell whatever personally, unless it's like the 101 art. I have been sticking to my guns on that. I really feel okay holding that. Yeah,
I do think it's quite cool. You see people like DC Investor or whatever it's called, and he's like never sold anything. Just hold his stuff forever. Bro. Never sold anything. His collection must be worth, I don't know, like 8-9 figures or something.
Yeah, it's wild.
And he just never sold anything, and he's like, well, I'm like, he has a level of conviction that I personally don't have. And same with the dude who's got the most traits, a punk, like that unique punk's got most traits or whatever.
Danny,
he just pulled it down. He's had a sale up for 200 million. He pulled it because he thinks he's got the Mona Lisa of digital art.
They've been right so far. It's crazy.
But I get, I appreciate that level of conviction. It's a level of conviction I don't have. And I think a lot of the people from my era of crypto, like the 2012, 2013 era, we were taught that everything was trash. No matter what they tell you, it's trash. Like, it doesn't matter, it's trash. Everything goes up, but it's all trash. So you got to flip it and, like, you know, protect the base and like return to value all the time. So a lot of stuff going on super extended multi-year parabolics is like alien to us that were born in like the Quark coin era, I guess. And that's like why generally people are like super old school always sell too early and like sell new stuff too early, but they survive and they make gains over time. Whereas a lot of the 2018 people sort of were taught, you buy valuable shit and you just fucking hold it forever. It just goes up forever. It outperforms everything forever. And I like, it just depends on your own personal conviction, I guess. But like, yeah, I do not have what DC Investor has, but I respect it greatly and sometimes wish I did have it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like, I think I got my first long-term gains in 14 years of trading, like last year. So my level of position is like fucking trash, and I'm paying the government short-term taxes constantly. I don't know. I mean, like, now I'm getting more of it. I think once you have a bigger bankroll, it's easier to do, obviously. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's something I'm not good at either.
Yeah,
this is the 7 trait punk. You know, I know this is going backwards a little bit, but there's got to be people that are here, but they don't really know how to analyze like these rarities and traits and stuff like that. So I've seen people that talk about like, okay, well, something that's a cool trait, like a punk with a hoodie, is more important because it looks cool versus something that's truly just rare but is hideous or something.
Right.
In these types of collections, is there one thing that you personally value over another? Is it like the character type or like the like the punk types as an example?
I mean, the types are obviously valued more just because they're rare, but there was like a dislocation with like tiaras before the big pump. Tiaras were going for like 65 and they're pretty fucking rare compared to everything. Meanwhile, like the pilot helmet was going for like 110. So I was trying my best to buy a couple tiaras, but like I couldn't get any of my bids filled before the pump. And now, I mean, you can see it's come back to like a pretty good parity versus rarity scale. But yeah, I mean, people value aesthetics, and I mean, like, they want to use these kind of things at their avatars. So apparently a lot of the people that buy these are guys who sit in their hoodies on their computers.
Yeah, that's part of the whole thing where I've made fun of like some of the collections where I'm like, okay, well, all these NFT buyers have to be like white men because it's like the minorities and the females tends to be like the ones that are the floor pieces in some of these collections. And I mean, to a degree, I guess you do play into that, right? Like a top hat or a pipe or a hoodie or whatever, like, might appeal more than the one with the pink hair or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And you see that like right here on the screen. You know,
the pink hair ones are kind of elite though.
Yeah, I think they look
cool,
nice. But inevitably, especially in some of these avatar projects, like your long-term lens would say you get a much better value buying the ones that are rare but don't necessarily look like you, like the average, you know, young white guy buyer.
Yeah.
Can I make a plea, actually, because you're on your screen, you just reminded me, you see the gold chain column, there's a wild white with a gold chain, white hair, gold chain. Yep. It's the penguin's kind of looking at it.
Yep.
And it's, if you go, you have to go to gold chain, I reckon. It's on the screen if you go to gold chain. But the owner of this punk, please can you contact me? We've been trying to get in touch with you for 3 months. Oh, like pay triple the fucking worth, dude. Just like I don't know who you are, how to get in touch with you. Go down to gold chain as a trait instead of wild white. You see it? Yeah, there you go. Look, if you are this address, you're active, you're doing stuff. You minted some stuff the other day. I know you're doing shit. I think Path's trying to buy it as well. Just contact me first. Contact me. Don't contact Path.
Buy everything.
I want the wild white with the gold chain.
I'll send an APB for you too after this.
Who do you most look up to out there in terms of NFT investors, collectors?
Wow.
People who are really crushing it in your mind.
I mean, the god tier guy is obviously Krybarat. He's focused on one-on-ones.
Hold on. Obviously, who?
Krybarat. Krybharat. He's one-on-one focused, man. I mean, like he's changed so many artists' lives. He's like really deep into one-on-one art. He has a great eye. And he also participates in everything else, like every side of the game. I mean, he's just like the god tier of god tier. And then I mean, there's guys who just do like nose on the ground research nonstop, like Fonro, Fitch, Trill. I mean, just people that have been in the game for a while. And there's just so many that come through the lens. I don't want to forget anyone and keep going. So I mean, Deez is obviously up there for what he's done for the space.
Yeah, maybe now's a good time to alpha leak that Deez and Fitch are doing a 8 episodes up only TV special on NFTs, because like you can't learn about NFTs from me and Ledger, can you? Like I just look at everything and go, that's shit. And the stuff I do like, the stuff where I'm like, that's really cool, like vegan punks, they never pump. They just fucking stay where they are. They never pump. So like I'm obviously useless, completely useless.
They do have a cult.
Ledger likes 3D rabbits. Ledger likes 3D rabbits. You saw the shit Ledger likes. He's awful at it. You can't learn anything from us. We're completely useless. So we've employed Fitch and Deez, who are both on your list. They're going to bring on their own guests. They're going to do an 8 episode special series.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, it's going to be full of alpha, and then we can like chill for like 8 weeks or something like that. Are we going to still do episodes? I don't know.
No, we need to do both. Like we need to have people on who are going to tell us how to make it, and then we need to buy stuff, and then we need to be euphoric on air while the numbers are going up.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Sounds good.
You still have to work. I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't make the rules. Vegan punks are awesome. I only have one left. I'm sad.
I've got like 150.
All right. Well, what else do we have? What else do we want to talk about? Is there anything?
Yeah, I want to talk about one other thing, because when Hashmask came out, they had the bonding curve, and you said you were like buying the top, but the top was also kind of just like buying the late in the bonding curve.
Yep.
And then after that, there was a couple of other bonding curve projects, and I think most of them didn't even sell out. Like they got stuck at like the mid to latter half. Mm-hmm. And I guess mostly because if you bought the latter half of the Hashmask one, you bought above floor when everything got revealed. Or at least close to above floor after a couple of days. And then recently we've had another one. It's called like AI 2.5 or some shit pop up, and it's got a bonding curve. And I saw it on day one, and I thought I'm not buying it because like bonding curves never sell out. Hashmask was a miracle. Bonding curves never fucking sell out. I looked at it today; it's like stuck in the same place they all got stuck. Do you think it's just like they're too greedy? It's like gonna.
I think it's a predatory style to do the drop, and I think it's like we said earlier, it's like ICOs. The people who buy early are the fucking VCs who got in early, and then the people who buy late, they get dumped on. So I mean, it's like people in the industry realized that it's just a predatory way to do things and kind of like shunned it. Taskmaster was the first, and they tried it. They succeeded at it. They tried the model. It worked for them, but then people realized that it's kind of just an old VC fucking jump on everyone. And
also the bonding curves are too vertical.
I'm going too crazy.
It's like 0.1 ETH for the first group, and then 1 ETH.
Like 3 ETH or something. It's like, what the fuck? So like I'm paying 10K. Meanwhile, this guy paid
it's a 30X for somebody before the thing ever comes out.
Yeah, I think it's just uncomfortable for everyone now, and everyone realizes you can, other projects that are just as good or better are going to be flat.
Do you like the reverse auctions?
Everything that's at a reverse auction just stays at the fucking top sticky price, so it doesn't really make a difference. I guess. I mean, like lately it's just been frothy, but art blocks have been doing so well, and they've been doing the Dutch auctions. I mean, I don't know, people have definitely been making money, but again, that it creates a lot of, I don't know, everything just creates a lot of flippers off the bat. The Dutch auction doesn't create flippers. I don't even know why I'm bringing that up.
Do you know what NFT projects should do? Is they should do a 2-week refund period, right? So like in the contract, you get an NFT, you can send that NFT back to the contract and get your money back. Now, projects would think this is bad for them because they're not going to get as much money, but it also sets a price floor because people can just redeem, so no one ever sells below floor, so everything pumps straight away.
There was someone like this. It was
really?
Degens. It didn't really take off. It's by my buddy OSF and Gary Mando, but they actually just did a new one because like people were unhappy with the set for whatever reason. they did one called Regens, where you can give your NFTs that you minted on Degens and burn them and get the new NFT project that they had an artist do, which people seem to like a lot more. So they got a
But
little.
you can't get your money back.
Money back? No, they actually did do a base floor. They said we'll buy all you want at like 0.005 or something like that.
They
But
sampled
like instead of like helping, I think it hurt. Like people just dumped it to 0.005 to gain all the liquidity.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're not SBF talking about
Yeah,
Solana.
yeah, exactly. Sell all all the DGens you want at 0.005, whatever it was. But so now you get Regens, hyphen GENZ. You got to put the hyphen in.
Oh.
Ledger. But yeah, so that was innovative by them. I mean, they're trying to keep their project alive, and I respect them for that. So it's been, yeah, it's there's so many innovative things like we've been saying that you can come up with. So it is cool.
Yeah. We got asked in the chat about NFTs on other chains, and I definitely think for stuff in gaming, being able to buy like pieces for a game without paying $80 in gas makes a lot of sense. Specifically, they asked about the Degen apes on Solana. That's not really a gaming thing. That's more like, I don't know, like a Meebit equivalent, maybe.
God, these things are so ugly.
They just, I don't know why they stuff stuff in their mouth and like there's so many like trait mixes that are strange. But anyway, what do you think about?
I mean, we've seen loads of bad NFTs over the last hour and a half, and like now it just keeps getting worse.
What? You don't want a green ape with a corn dog in its mouth wearing a pink frou-frou dress?
If you go for the top 3 worst things we've seen on the stream, this is up there with Fluffs and the Tigers.
So I mean, it's other chain NFTs. I think it's just tough. I mean, you could be super early. Obviously, there's that binary effect of it. But I think the other chain that's actually been working is Tezos, actually, for Hickatude, whatever. It's like one of one art though. It's not like
that's the first time I've heard the word Tezos.
No joke. Some of my guys who are like really smart in the game, I'm just too lazy to go. Like I did it for a month, like a couple months ago, but they're deep in this and they have been making a lot of money on that one.
I have another question about NFTs. It's sort of tangential. So if you're someone like me, right, and you want exposure to NFTs generally, but you hate everything, hate the art, hate the artists, hate the people that run these projects, hate the people that buy these projects, hate the people that talk about these projects, hate NFT influencers, hate yourself, and hate everyone that you've ever met. What sort of thing do you buy? Like, what is the shovels? Like, how do you get exposure to NFTs as an asset class without having to continually waste my time minting dog shit and then shame hiding everything on OpenSea?
So most right now, I think it's like gaming coins like Axie Infinity, AXS, ILV for Illuvium. It's another game that's not out, but the coins have been popping off. But Super Rare, just, you know, they're the one-on-one website. They just released a coin. Rare, I mean, like, I don't want to pump it, but because I'm a pretty big owner of it. But that's my exposure outside of collecting individual NFTs, because you can feel like you get a more broad spectrum exposure. Otherwise, there's like,
I was kind of excited about NFTX. It was like the floor platform, right. But the guy that created that's kind of cringe.
Yeah, he went kind of haywire or something. I don't know. He's the one who sold me the zombie though, so it all started with him. They dumped a vault and like sold 2 zombies and everything like way below floor. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but they started this run maybe, for me at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best performing coins I had, like just buying it because it made a lot of sense to me, and still does, but there's a few problems with it as well. Like, you're just incentivized to put the worst of a collection in there. And then also,
wait, how are we forgetting fractionalization? I mean, like fractional art. Andy is like fucking the man, and there's a lot of fractionalization ones you can do.
Yeah, we got to talk about fractional art before we go. Can you tell us what it is and how people?
I mean, so it's just like taking a piece of an NFT or a group of NFTs and breaking them down, not into securities, if the SEC is listening, into some kind of fractions, and then you or the Doge, Feisty Dog, and then it builds a market around that, kind of like you could trade in and out, not like a security. And I mean, I don't participate in them personally, but I did have some thoughts to do it. But as a registered broker dealer, I'm gonna stay away.
Yeah.
Is there a fractionalized ledger face?
They started it, but I don't think you can buy the fractionalized version of the ledger face now. They put it on here. There's you can have 1/1000th of the ledger face apparently, Or you
That's
can have-
is it going ham? I mean, I haven't bought any, but like there's been some good opportunities with buying them out too.
It's
like the art box.
it's not. It's. I don't think they've actually made it available fractionalized yet.
That's gonna go ham.
It's just
Let me
got.
know when.
It's only got the full buyout version for 10 ETH. So you could buy it for 10 ETH and then you could fractionalize it.
Oh,
Imagine getting dumped on by Ledger's face. Like that is I'm not buying this shit, dude. So the two most popular were Path's Evil Dog and was it a zombie or something? Did someone do a zombie or an alien or something?
Oh, so is that zombie with party bid? This is another innovative thing where like you can bid like as a group to buy it out and like a party bid. It's like I need to look into it more. It looked really cool as well, but it's just like ways for people who don't have a lot of capital to get involved in these higher priced ticket items.
Wait, they did is that Pyre of the Living Dead? Yeah.
Yep.
So is that fractionalized as well, and then like you can buy fractions, or is it just?
You buy
bidded up on
fractions, and then
Bybit?
they were like buying it out to like get shares of it. I mean, like I don't want to explain it without knowing the details, but it was, I don't know. It's super innovative shit. That's
Look,
we either gonna
listeners,
get shut down
if
or
you've
not.
learned anything from Keyboard Monkey style, you don't read the page. Look at it, look at a few numbers, go, do I like it? And then just
Yeah,
fucking do it.
literally,
Don't, if you spend too much time reading, it'll confuse you and then you'll psych yourself out. Just fucking press the green button, mate.
Literally, I think that's why like being a scalper day trader where you have to make like literally split second decisions in the stock market has helped me in NFTs. I just ape first, ask questions later. I like it, and hopefully liquidity is there.
You just don't know what anything does or how it works. Just like, I'm fucking whatever.
I definitely think that like fractional art's one of the ones that I wish I could have some kind of access to from an equity perspective or token or whatever.
Yeah,
It
no,
just
they
makes-
raised
it just
they
clicks.
raised money. They raised a Series A recently. From
Yeah,
word on the
they
street.
didn't
I
include
do
me.
think it.
They didn't
I do
include me
think it
either.
makes sense for stuff like punks, because like if you think about it, most of these profile picture projects, they just steadily price people out, right? Like
Yeah.
apes at the beginning was like it's for people who can't afford punks, but now the apes floor is higher than the punks floor was when that was a narrative. And then penguins, it's like, oh, it's for the people that can't afford apes or punks, and like the penguin floor is now like 10 or 15 grand or something. So it's like there's people who like, where's the profile picture project for me? Where's the thing that I can own and get exposure to? And if you maybe you need to do a profile picture project where the supply is like 50,000 or 100,000 instead of like
Well, then it won't
10,000 or
Ponzi.
8,000.
Then it won't
Yeah,
Ponzi upwards.
You know what I think?
It
they
might
should-
do, but just from like much lower values or something.
I
Who
think
knows?
they should do it to where every time it's flat the same way initially, but every time one is sold, one is minted. So selling becomes inflationary.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. But there was a lot of animals on Noah's Ark. We can fit a lot more animals besides penguins, tigers. I think we'll just go down the list, right?
Yeah.
You could do a reasonable NFT drop called Noah's Ark, where there's only two. There's a male and female of every animal,
Dude,
and like you
shut the scream off.
yeah, and you end up with like there's like 10,000 animals. So there's two.
This is gonna
there's
exist.
like
everyone.
This is gonna exist.
5,000
within, like, 3
animals.
days.
Yeah, 5,000 animals. Then there's 10,000 NFTs, and then some people it's like, oh, who's the other tiger? Because like I got
Oh
the
my-
tiger. Who's got the female tiger?
Wow.
There you go. Right.
Dude,
Hey, if
they
anyone
are
makes it,
getting
I want like
overloaded.
1% or something.
You know, this is kind of how fluff breeding works.
Whoa, let's not take it there.
No, mate, no one said anything about breeding.
Yeah,
it was
wait a minute.
breeding wasn't even brought up. Why?
That's
Look,
how they survived.
The only way
after
you could make
Noah's Ark.
fluffs, the only way you could make fluff sound more creepy than they
Yeah,
were. They
always
already look like
rat.
sex offending rabbits, and now you've brought up breeding.
Jesus.
But that's how they survive after Noah's Ark. You know, you got to have one of everything so you can create some more.
Hilarious.
Nobody was on about breeding though. We were just talking about Noah's Ark.
We're just being wholesome, saving the fucking animals 2 by 2.
You're just thinking about your NFTs having sex.
What are they gonna do? You bring, one lemur and another lemur together. They want to make lemur babies.
Is that like the airdrop for fluff? Lemurs?
I don't know.
All right. Any more questions? I gotta go.
All
now.
right, let's give chat a couple minutes. Is there anything that we've missed? Anything you want to ask
Domain names,
Keyboard
someone
Monkey
asked
himself?
about. Do you care about domain names?
No one cares about that.
no.
Next.
I have some yachts, but I do not have domains.
Gotcha.
Next.
Yeah, it's only. sad.
It's gonna be people just shilling their shit. It's like there's the one dude who keeps going like, "Do you like bored mummies waking up?" It's like, no, dude, no one likes that. That's why you're in here trying to shill it to everyone. It's because no one's buying it.
As soon as
Bored
Bored
Mummies
Mummies-
is a Gainsey project, number one.
As soon as they revealed, they went to zero. Like you
Yeah, it's
just
a
had to
Gainsey
sell
project. We're
them
not
before
fast.
they were actually revealed. Kobe,
All right, Ledger, you want to do the final question?
Yeah. So Keyboard Monkey, you've probably listened to the show before. I hope you've listened to the show before. Don't say you haven't if you haven't.
I have, but now I'm like concerned.
At the end of the show, we do this section where we want alpha from you, some kind of words of wisdom, bit of advice, a way for them to have a chance at making it. They came here to learn from you, figure out what do they do with their $1 million or their $10,000 or their $500. But what would you leave them as a final bit of wisdom for how to make it in the space?
Right. I think we spoke a lot about that already, but in the space right now, my app would be wait a little bit. Sit on your hands. You don't have to pay up into market orders. There will be good deals to be had. And then you just follow the momentum and ape first, ask questions later.
So you're selling them to wait, but also ape first, ask questions later.
It's just sounding good in my head. All right. No,
Wait.
seriously, just wait. Just wait.
Wait for now, but ape
Be
later.
patient. Yeah, exactly. But once you find that spot, don't be afraid to pull the trigger. Like that's my biggest takeaway here. But be patient right now. Be patient right now.
I love it.
Keyboard Monkey, thank you so much for coming on, Ledger.
Follow Keyboard
guys.
Monkey 3 at twitter.com.
Yeah,
he
it was a
can't
great
get the
time
real.
there.
He can buy a Fidenza for 295 ETH, but he can't get the Keyboard Monkey username.
No, if
on
the
Twitter.
real Keyboard Monkey is listening, please contact me. Okay.
Thank you for being here. Go to uponly.tv/FTX. Make a trade there today. Follow your portfolio. Get 8% interest and yield on your assets and 5% after $10,000. Uponly.tv/FTX. Thanks for being here. We'll catch y'all next time.